Today's lesson is dividing by sharing. So if I gave you base 10 blocks and said, how can you use base 10 blocks to represent the number 400? So use base 10 blocks to represent the number 400. Some of you will say I can use 4 100 blocks. So we'll use 4 flats. Each flat is worth 100. 100, 200, 300, 400. So you could use 4 flats. Some of you will say I could use 40. So we'll say 4 of these. Some of you will say we could use 40 tens each. So the rods, each rods. So I'm just going to draw lines instead of one of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So we got 40 rods. Each one is worth 10. If you add them all up, you'll come up with 400. And some of you will say I could use 400 ones, okay, or 400 units. I'm not going to draw 400 units, but if you draw 400 of those, obviously you count them, you're going to get 400. So you have 400 ones, or you could say 40 rods, which is also equal to 400, or you could say 4 flats, which is also equal to 400. Now, if I ask you, can you divide 400 into 2 groups using the base 10 blocks? So I want you to split them into 2 groups. You're going to say, yes, I can. So if I'm using flats, I got 4 flats and I'm going to split them into 2 groups. That's 1 group. That's 2 groups. If I'm using the rods, can I split them into 2 groups? Yes, I can. 10, 20 of these would be 1 group. 20 of these would be 1 group. So we would have 2 groups. And if we had 400 ones, we'd split them into 2 groups, 200 ones in 1 group, 200 ones into another group. Now, if you come across a question where you would divide and then you would have extra, what would you do with those extra, or what would you call those extras? So I'm going to start with a basic number, for example, 17. Okay, so the number 17. So I'm going to say I have 17 students and I want to split these 17 students into 3 groups. How can I split these 17 students into 3 groups? So let me start. So I got 1 group, I got 2 groups, and I got 3 groups. Now I got the 17 students. So let's see how we could split them up. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16, 17. I cannot put 16 in here. I cannot put the 17 in there because it wouldn't be fair to have unequal groups. So far we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this group. Now I got 2 more extra students that cannot fit into any of these groups because it won't be fair for the other group. So what do we call these extra students? We call them the remainders. So what is 17 divided by 3? 17 divided by 3, 17 students, 3 groups equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and remainder 2. So we write R2 remainder 2. So now I'll be giving bigger numbers and showing you how to divide bigger numbers and what to do with the remainders that we have. Okay, so we're going to use the long division strategy that we practiced before. And before we start with anything, let me remind you of the DMSB, Dead Monkeys Smell Bad. Again, that's something that's going to be stuck into your head. You're not going to be forgetting. D stands for divide, M stands for multiply, S is for subtract, and B is to bring down. Okay, so what is 209 divided by 3 equal 2. Okay, so we will start. How many times can 3 go into 2? That's not going to happen. So you need to move on to the next number in there. How many times can 3 go into 20? Okay, so we're going to say 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and then if I add one more, it will be 21. And we only have 20, so we're going to stick up to 18. So how many times can 3 go into 20? It could go into it 6 times. Now we multiply. What is 6 times 3? It is equal to 18. Subtract. 20 minus 18 equals 2. How many times can 3 go into 2? That cannot happen, so we need to bring down the 9. How many times can 3 go into 29? It could go into it 9 times. What is 9 times 3? 27. What's 29 minus 27 equal to? 2. I do not have any number to bring down, so it will stop right here. So the answer is, so what is 209 divided by 3 equal to? It is equal to 69 remainder 2. Or you could just write R2 up top. Okay, I'll give you another example. 191 divided by 2. How many times can 2 go into 1? That's not going to happen. How many times can 2 go into 19? It could go into it 9 times. What is 9 times 2? It is equal to 18. What's 19 minus 18 equal to? 1. How many times can 2 go into 1? That's not going to happen. So we must bring down the 1. How many times can 2 go into 11? It go into it 5 times. What's 5 times 2? 10. We subtract 11 minus 10 equals 1. So what is 191 divided by 2 equal to? It is equal to 95 remainder 1. I'll give you another example. 283 divided by 8. What is that equal to? How many times does 8 go? Can 8 go into 2? That cannot happen, so you must move on to the next number. How many times can 8 go into 28? It could go into it 3 times. What is 3 times 8? 24. 28 minus 24 equals 4. How many times can 8 go into 4? That cannot happen, so we must bring down the 3. How many times can 8 go into 43? It could go into it 5 times. What is 5 times 8? It is equal to 40. 43 minus 40 equals 3. So 283 divided by 8 is equal to 35, remainder 3. One more example. What is 767 divided by 4 equal to? How many times can 4 go into 7? It could go into it once. 1 times 4 equals 4. 7 minus 4 equals 3. How many times can 4 go into 3? That cannot happen, so I must bring down the 6. How many times can 4 go into 46? It could go into it 9 times. What is 9 times 4 equals to? It is equal to 36. 36 minus 36 equals 0. We're not done because there's still a 7 up here that we still must use. So we must bring that 7 all the way down there. How many times can 4 go into 7? It could go into it 1 time. What is 1 times 4? It is equal to 4. What is 7 minus 4 equal to? 3. And we have no more numbers to bring down. We are done there. So what is the answer of 767 divided by 4 equal to? It is equal to 191 remainder 3.